What is up, everybody? Welcome in. How's it going? Baby Yoda, what's up? What's going on, man? Yeah, sorry, it's a bit vapey in here right now, but what up? What's going on, everybody? Yeah, so I thought I would jump on a pod today and just basically discuss Boost Infinite in its entirety. So that's pretty much like the topic discussion for today. I know a lot of people are talking about Boost Infinite and the outage. Of course, you guys know that that's pretty much on at&t side, and that is at&t's mishap. So to be quite honest with everybody, just to be like right off jump, my wife has her line on Boost Infinite, and that is with the at&t side, and shockingly enough, I don't think that her services was interrupted. I know there was like a massive outage, and it was nationwide, coast to coast. So what up, Titus? Welcome in. I appreciate you for being here. So with a lot of these things that's happening, of course, Mike Kelly resigning. Yeah, does Boost Infinite even have a leg to stand on? Now, for those that have been living under a rock and don't know about the entire situation, how Boost Infinite even came to be, hey, dang on here, let me move the camera just a little bit. That way I can see what's going on. Ricky, what's up, man? Welcome in. I appreciate you for being here. No, I don't. I don't have early Infinite access anymore. I actually am no longer with Boost Infinite at all. And it sucks because I really wanted them to survive, right? Like, okay, maybe some people might say that I'm writing them off a little bit too early, but when you kind of see the things that Dish is doing, you know what I mean? It's almost as if like they're self-sabotaging. Like they literally wanted to, to destroy the Boost brand. But like, why? Especially when they didn't even have to call it Boost Infinite. They could have called it anything else. They absolutely could have. Yeah, Dish has made many mistakes. That is obviously true, right? But without key players in there to help it survive, does it have a chance of surviving? Right? The concept of Boost Infinite, I like, right? The power of 3 networks, the ability to be able to switch between whichever is going to give you the best connection in the area that you're in, right? I love that idea. It was one of the reasons that drew me to Google Fi. But it's like it's poorly executed. It's you got people in place that just honestly hurt the brand more than actually build its reputation. even from the time when I was working with them and the layout of how they had everything, right? And I know Boost Infinite will never really want to do business with me again. Never, because I have opened my mouth too much about them and too much of their internal stuff. I run and operate a Facebook group page with, I think it's like 800 plus followers on it, and everybody is just so great in the sense that, you know, they help everybody else. Someone's got a question. It's almost like as if, you know, my role as the founder of the group page is just for me to sit and watch, because everybody is so in there just really answering questions to other people that may have questions about Boost Infinite or services or troubleshooting issues and things like that. And, you know, it was brought to my attention the other day that Mike Kelly actually followed into the group. I don't know what for. You know, one person was like, yo, block him because he's in there watching. I decided not to block him because I was like, this might be a good thing. If Mike Kelly really, if that's really Mike Kelly's Facebook account and he's really following the group page, then he can see what you guys are saying about the services and maybe react and kind of help, you know? Crazy thing. So I still till today, I don't even know if it's really him or not. I don't, you know, I mean, the account looks legit, you know, there's actual like real photos and not stuff that you would like Google search and find a bunch of images and just download them and upload them to a fake profile. Like it seems legit. Sad enough, his last day is February 29th. So you're right, Ricky. With the right leadership, it can be a great company. Yes, with the right leadership, it can be a great company. But that's the problem, right? You know, they're cycling through different execs. This person's going to head it up. He leaves. Oh, I don't want to drop that. You know, this person's going to follow up. They leave. I seen they reached 2 million covered on Varner today. Yeah. You know, so it's like, it's such a weird situation for Boost Infinite because they make 10 steps forward and like, then they make like 8 steps back. You know, my entire time working for the company, like I'll be honest right now. Working for them, I was excited to be working for them. I was excited. I mean, you know, when they first dropped, you know, I was so adamant behind them. I still am. I still want them to thrive and succeed. I don't want to see them fail. But they're failing people. They're failing everybody out there. You know, like people have what they need, right? Like their idea of what they need. You know, I get it. I get it from all angles, right? One person's like, you know, fuck Boost Infinite because they only give you 30 gigs. I need fully unlimited, like Visible. And it's like, okay, well then go to Visible. You know, I get it from all angles. But right now I'm really questioning, can Boost Infinite survive? Can they stay the fourth carrier that the FCC demands we have, right? Because when Sprint, poof, gone, you know, Dish stepped up to say like, yeah, you know, they'll become a wireless carrier to be a fourth carrier, to maintain that fatal four-way in the telco industry. But it's just like all the ideas are so grand for Boost Infinite. It's just poor execution. Poor execution building a customer care team. Poor execution of training. Poor execution of, you know, steps, like literally. and I don't even know how some can actually screw this up. They have a checklist. There's a checklist that care follows. You have to, like for a customer care rep, you literally will get your ass written up if you don't use this checklist. And the checklist just makes it simple for every care rep to be able. This is why you get that same robotic type, you know, troubleshooting thing, is because there is a checklist. It's not hard to follow. There are those people that are there just to make a paycheck. There are those people that are there to make a paycheck and are genuinely interested in the telco industry. I've seen it. There's good people working for customer care for Boost Infinite, you know, but the way that they had things set up, they dropped the ball. Another mistake they did, Open RAN with fake 5G, and now they can't deploy real 5G because it is not able to. Yeah. I mean, well, you're dabbling more on the network capabilities, right? it goes far beyond the network capabilities. That's just, half the battle right there, right? That's half the battle. There's all kinds of things that are set in place that, I feel like is just absolutely crazy. Like the amount of credit one needs to be able to finance a phone. Sure, of course, you want to have customers finance through you that have really, really good credit, because it shows stability, it shows trust. You don't want to, you don't want to be like accepting people to finance when, they got a credit score of like 450, 475, right? 477. Definitely not. But like, I would always get asked from people that I know of, like, what type of credit score do you need to finance with Boost Infinite? And I told them they're really picky. They really are. They really are. If you're in the 600s, the likely chances of you being approved for device finance, slim to none. Even if you're in the lower 700s, there are a lot of things that Dish did that just absolutely, in my mind, didn't make sense at all whatsoever. Yeah, you had a score of 650 and they said no. Yeah, I had a score of 721 and they said no. And I was working for them. 721 and they said no. I was working for them. Like, that tells you. But all the stuff that Boost Infinite has been doing, Dish Wireless has been doing, the partner with Amazon, creating the Amazon storefront, like, just a lot of things to me didn't make a lot of sense with them. And I'm not really here to have like a whole podcast to bash the hell out of Boost Infinite, because like I said, I generally want them to succeed, but I'm telling you guys these things not to deter anybody away from wanting to sign up with Boost Infinite, so that you guys know what the fuck they're doing. The Amazon storefront was a great idea. Then I found out, yeah, if you order from Amazon, you'll get the the T-Mobile side. No matter what, you're going to get the T-Mobile side if you order through Amazon. If you order through Boost Infinite app, you're going to get the at&t side. If you're in an area that their network is built out, you'll get the Rainbow SIM. You'll be able to do, be on their native 5G network. And to me, it's just like, I know we get it. I know you guys get it. I know it. I know you guys get it. I know we on YouTube, we get it. We understand this stuff. We understand this stuff. But everyday, average, normal people that don't follow the tech industry like that does not fucking understand this. When I worked for them, I would spend at least 20 to 30 times a day explaining how all this worked. And yeah, I generally enjoy talking to them about it, being able to share a little bit of my knowledge of it. Yeah, I get in trouble a little bit here and there because they're like, don't be saying stuff, you're not an expert. They can hold us to it. Like, okay. All right, I'll back off. I won't get too technical with them. I'll do the layman's term jargon. 5G will make your phone really fast. They have a great idea. They have, such good ambitions, but just poorly executed. For a long time, if you requested a supervisor, there really wasn't a way to transfer the call from a care rep to a person, a supervisor position. There wasn't. They weren't lying to anybody. Lots of people would take to my group page and say that, or they would be on the Boost Infinite page on Facebook, the actual official one, and say that. And I'm like, damn. How do I go and tell them, hey, they're not lying to you. The rep is not lying to you to get rid of you. They really can't transfer it to anybody else. How? Because we couldn't. They already had a bad reputation for the data breach last year, right? I know some people were kind of talking those facts about it. They were like, oh, well, a year ago, something like this happened. Like, no, a year ago, they got hijacked. A year ago, they got locked out of their own systems, right? And I know that they really want that stigma to go away. They really hope that it got buried over the time. So, like, all these different ideas that they had, infinite, iPhone access, right? Now, infinite Galaxy access plans, right? 2 plans that basically give you the latest device from those respective brands every year as an upgrade, along with unlimited talk and text. And then here's a part that really pissed me off. On AT&T side, 30 gigs of high-speed data access, and then you're throttled. On T-Mobile side, 35 gigs of high-speed data, and then you're throttled. So like the consistency wasn't there. I know some people can say I'm good with 30 gigs. I can make 30 gigs stretch. But how is it if you go to one person and they have the AT&T Boost Infinite and another person has a T-Mobile one and they're talking about their data and all this? Oh, I run out of data at 30 gigs, and the other guy's like, oh, well, I go to 35 gigs. And you're paying the same price, $25. Does that make sense to anybody? You know, I may not be the most business savvy person. I may not have the money to go out there and just lead a company and the CEO, you know, and do all these things, but fucking common sense. If I'm going to give my customers this, then if I'm using another company to help me, you know, expedite that connection for my customers to have, it's got to be equal on all sides. Cannot have one that gets 35 gigs, the other one gets 30 gigs. Cannot have it set up that where if you add Speed Pass as an additional add-on, that on the AT&T side, it moves you up to 40 gigs instead of 30 gigs, but on the T-Mobile side, it moves you up to 55 gigs. Like, I don't compute that. And then the other thing that, you know, aggravated me about Boost Infinite was like, if you called them and you said, hey, I know that your system just generates what SIM I'm going to get, but I can tell you guys that maybe T-Mobile works better in my area than AT&T that you're offering me. No, there's no way for them to be like, yeah, okay, we'll put you on the T-Mobile SIM. Like, some people have gotten away with it, and I will tell you guys right now, the rep who assisted you in moving from AT&T to T-Mobile got wrote up or something, because we're not allowed to do that. Well, I don't work with them anymore, but when I was working with them, we were not allowed to do that. You cannot even say that you can try. You would get dinged on quality control, and you would get in trouble. But yeah, there's a loophole, and yeah, I exploited that loophole to remind people that if you order through Amazon's website, the Amazon storefront for Boost Infinite, you will get a T-Mobile SIM card, the blue SIM card. You will get that sent to you from Boost Infinite, which means you'll be on the T-Mobile side. That's how I was able to get me a SIM card on the T-Mobile side. I ordered through Amazon storefront because I had Amazon Prime, and got my SIM card delivered to me, activated it, and then got my $25 credit for activating it. And I still had my early infinite access line, which was AT&T. So I had both lines, like 2 lines, one on T-Mobile, one on AT&T. I never got the Rainbow SIM. Said that it was available in my area, but I never got it. My Dish is a backup phone. That's it. I got you. My primary is the S24 Ultra on Verizon. T-Mobile, yuck. You know, yeah, it was absolutely sad. There were just all these different things, and it aggravated people. And then amongst that I just mentioned right now, the next clusterfuck of Boost Infinite happened to be the migration of Republic Wireless customers coming over to Boost Infinite. They were going to migrate them over. On my group page, there was people that were like literally out of phone service for a whole month, talking to customer care, talking to Tier 4, which was my area when I worked for them, talking to them, trying to get help. Tier 4 having to reach out to the back office by sending a support ticket to the back office. The back office gets it. They call out to the customer. Maybe they don't even call out to the customer. Maybe they just attempt it and then put notations, you know, that they made 3 attempts and nada, and close the ticket. You know how sad that was? Like, getting calls and getting a guy screaming at me. His mother had Republic Wireless and she got her Boost Infinite SIM card. She's not tech savvy. He tried to help her get activated. He did everything that the guide in the mailing kit said to do, and thought his mom would be set up, and was freaking out when he couldn't call his mom. And it's because it never got activated. There was issues activating it. There was issues migrating the Republic Wireless account over to Boost Infinite. That was headaches. And like, you know, I've worked customer service and call centers like that for years. So I actually give a fuck about people that I talk to. I'm not there only for the paycheck and then just to sit there and tell you in such a monotone voice, like, I genuinely understand your frustration, sir. I would be upset too. Like, no, I actually genuinely care about people. I do want to see people's phones work. I do want to see their accounts being billed correctly. You know, it was a tough spot. That migration was a tough spot. People are being left out in the cold. So with all these things that I've seen with my own eyes, witnessed as a customer, witnessed as a former employee, you know, absolutely makes me question, are they going to survive? Or has the damage been so done that there's no redemption, there's no redeeming it? The only way to redeem it is trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes and change the entire name of the company and hope that people don't pay attention to the tech news to know that this new brand of the fourth carrier was actually Boost Infinite. I mean, Boost, the name was tarnished before Boost Infinite was ever created, was ever conceived. How many years have I unboxed Boost mobile phones and got people that commented on those videos talking about Metro by T-Mobile is better, or back then it was Metro PCS, and everyone's like, I hate Boost Mobile because of this, and that, and I was like, wow. Sprint, oh Lord. And I worked for Sprint retention, so I'm not trying to sound cocky, but goddamn, yeah. If I can convince people to stick with their freaking, their unlimited freedom plan on Sprint, goddamn, I'm good at my job. Because my job depended on it. If everybody that I was coming in contact with in retention for Sprint poured it out or canceled, I would get fired. I know, because I had to walk people out. There were people that were, operations managers, like, hey, this guy's not good. This job's not for him. You gotta let him go. And that was in the glory days of Sprint. Welcome, Rando Geek. What's up, man? Glad to have you here. So, Boost Infinite with all those things that I mentioned, crazy. And that's not even the personal beef I had with Boost Infinite and them, being aggravated about my YouTube channel and all that stuff. That was just the one thing that made me say that I didn't want to work with them anymore. The moment that they came at me so sideways and was like, take everything down, and treated me like I was some type of criminal, like, how'd you get the Solero 5G Plus? Who gave it to you? We want their email address. Like, whoa, hold the fuck up. It's one of your people. It's one of your people who reaches out to content creators and sends them this stuff. So, the day that they made me feel like I did something wrong, when anyone could just say, you look back at all my old videos of Boost Mobile, Boost Infinite, and it's like, you can tell, like, some dude literally beefed with me on Twitter and called me a fucking shill because for a while I was doing a lot of Boost Infinite videos to keep people up to date as to what was happening with the whole, the whole hack that happened to Boost Infinite. All you ever talk about is Boost Infinite. I got into this whole long thing attacking me on Twitter, and I was just like, the person's like, I have to block you because you're a shill. All right, block me. I'll live. I'm still living and breathing today, and I'm totally fine. Still here, still making ruckus on this platform. So anyone would just look at me and just say, oh, this guy's about the brand. This guy's about Boost Mobile. This guy's about Boost Infinite. And they treated me that way. They made me feel like I was some sort of criminal. And I'm absolutely like I know one person reached out to me and they're like, are you going to be getting the new Soleros from 2024? I told them no. I reached out to them in an email to find out, are they actually going to be sending review units to content creators? Just give me a heads up, because I don't live in the best part of town in my city. People do lift packages from people's front porches, so if something's coming my way, I want to make sure I know and that I get a tracking number so I can make sure I get it. No response. So ever since that, I was honest with the company that I was working for to let them know, like, hey, I make YouTube videos about the telco industry and mobile phones, and one of your people's literally was sending me devices to review on my channel. They pretty much made sure that relationship between me and them is turned, gone, cut, finished, finito, bam, out of there, because I don't get a response back from the from the partners at dish.com. I think it was. I don't want to. Well, actually, we should say the email. Boost Infinite AT&T is pretty good. It is decent. I will say this much, at least in my city, like the numbers on the T-Mobile are high, right? 500 megabits down, maybe like 100 megs on the up. But the network quality from the T-Mobile side is almost slightly equivalent to what you see on AT&T side, which here it's like 100 up, no, 100 down, 10 up on the AT&T side. Now, where my wife works at, AT&T had to upgrade those towers there because it kicks to like 600, 700 megabits per second on the down and like 60 megabits per second on the uplink. But that's by her job, which is like 13, 14 blocks away from me. So you go figure. Like, honestly, if I can talk to all the board members, the big wigs, the head honchos of Boost Infinite Dish Wireless, I would literally tell them to pull their fucking heads out of their asses. If they want this thing to survive, then they need to pay attention to the crowd. They need to pay attention to us. And I'm not saying it like we're God's gift to the freaking tech industry. No. But a lot of us have been very vocal about our concerns about Boost Infinite. And we've been putting it out there, not in a way like we're attacking them or trying to be, trying to destroy the brand. But we genuinely want to see them succeed. The concepts that they have, the concepts are cool. The concepts are awesome. The concepts I like. But you're executing it poorly. Your management team, your customer care team, poorly. There's a way to salvage that. That's the reason why I didn't kick Mike Kelly, if that's really him, off my Boost Infinite group page. I wanted him to read people's experiences. I want him to get in touch with his fucking customers to see what they're asking for. I have a boatload of people on the group page talking about that they want international usage. Get on the ball, Boost Infinite. You got the Galaxy plan going. You got the iPhone plan going. Now fucking get some sort of international thing going for people that are jumping to you. Like, your pricing, $25, is an extremely delicious looking bait. So start listening to your customer base. Equal the shit out. Okay, I know there's agreements that Dish has to make with T-Mobile. There's agreements that Dish has to make with AT&T. But goddamn, man, finesse. Pay a little bit more if you have to level it out. Don't have one side of it give you 30 gigs of high-speed data and the other one give you 35 gigs of high-speed data. Like, don't let one side allow you to add speed pass and get 10 additional gigabytes of high-speed data, and the other side give you 20 gigs. It does not compute. Change your verbiage on some of your add-on options. You got North America Connect, Canada, Mexico. They had International Connect that confused the fuck out of a lot of people, because when you hear international, you think, oh, okay, I'll get the International Connect add-on, and then I'll go to freaking France. And you get to France and your phone doesn't work. Why Dish doesn't go native in major metro areas makes no sense to me. Yeah, you hear about how, like what they said earlier, over 200 million Boost Infinite customers should be able to connect to their native 5G, right? I've been here in my city, people that I get lucky enough to run into that will actually, because I'll eavesdrop. Maybe they'll say something about their service provider, and then if I hear Boost Infinite, I'll talk to them, because I want to get a genuine person's reactions to being on Boost Infinite. And a lot of them know that they're on the AT&T side. And I'm like, okay, I haven't really ran into anybody in the city of Phoenix, Arizona that has the Rainbow SIM. I know there's some content creators that are here in Phoenix that have it, but an everyday person, haven't ran into anybody. I have a person that follows my group, and she has been really cool about sharing her experiences going into Mexico with Boost Infinite and what happened to her when she was there, what happened to her services while she was there. And it was like, even if you had North America Connect, it doesn't have you covered. Like we're not in 2012 anymore, where there's a slight possibility that your service provider is, not going to work great or is not going to work at all. Right? We're in 2024, for Pete's sakes. Metro works. Visible works. Total by Verizon works. Simple Mobile works. Mint Mobile works. Tello works. Helium is working for people. Hello Mobile's working. Like, damn. It's like, damn. How do you guys have you guys can use us in Canada and Mexico, and somebody that is, part of our group that, pretty much shares her experience, goes there and says, oh, can't do it. I went there, my phone service didn't work. Visible Plus works in Mexico. Yeah. I've seen YouTube videos where people that are on, on the Visible team literally talked about their experiences on Visible, and even on, here in the US on the Visible base, the $25 plan, there's people that have a great experience. There's people that don't. Again, network connectivity is going to vary. Not one carrier is going to be absolutely perfect from coast to coast and border to border. It's just not. Boost Infinite reps as a postpaid brand, they need to be a postpaid brand and offer better perks such as caller ID, international calling. Exactly. I said it earlier. They got to bring international calling. There are people that want it. Sometimes I feel like that Boost Infinite is like passive aggressive. We told everybody 25 for life, but if we're going to give them international calling, we're going to probably have to hike up the plan $10 more or $5 more. It's like, what's stopping you guys? You guys are already charging like $10 more for the freaking add-ons. Make International Connect really international. Not International Connect where I'm calling from the US to an international country. But make it to where I can use my phone internationally. Boost Mobile worked in Mexico, but she was having trouble with Boost Infinite. Yeah. Does that even compute, right? Everyone watching, does that make sense to you? Boost Mobile will work in Mexico, but Boost Infinite didn't? It's very interesting, right? Very interesting. Spectrum has Verizon? Yeah, Spectrum uses Verizon. I think Cox Mobile uses Verizon, right? I'm laughing out loud. Yeah, there are all these things that we can nitpick at Boost Infinite about. There's all these things that we can point out. And yeah, maybe I'm having a little bit of fun with you guys and slightly being a little, joking a little. But I don't want to be like that Clear Eyes guy and be like, hello, everybody. Welcome. We're talking about Boost Infinite today. It didn't work in Mexico. Wow. Like, I'm not trying to do that, But I'm not taking it as a joke. Like, to being serious, to any Boost Infinite person that comes across this, you work for the company, hell, fucking grab the link and share it to them. I'm not worried about ever being in their good graces anymore. That ship has fucking sailed, but I still want them to succeed. I still want them to do better. Scumcast. I still want them to genuinely succeed. I really do. Honestly, I would love to go back to them. I would love to go back to them. I would love to have one line with Boost Infinite. Hell, if it's the at&t side, good, go on. My son got his own cell phone service now that he's 18, and in order to keep the home internet, you got to have a phone line on it. So I have the Metro by T-Mobile on the iPhone 11 Pro, Pro Max. Then I have Visible on the Pixel 4 XL. I wouldn't mind busting out maybe like my Pixel 7 and throwing the Boost Infinite at&t access in there. I have access to those networks. I'd rather have competition than just a monopoly of 3. Yes. When there's more players in the game, there's more. I mean, think about it like this, right? With the very beginnings of Boost Infinite and their $25 forever plan, right? And then y'all noticed that now that, Visible was doing it, from day one when they came out, $25 plan. Boost Infinite comes out, post-pay with a $25 plan. Now Metro by T-Mobile has a port-in special where it's $25 for unlimited talk, text, and data. Deprioritized after 35 gigs of data during congestion, but otherwise unlimited for $25. Of course, you got to bring your phone number and you got to bring your own device. Or if you've been with Metro by T-Mobile for over a year, they can put you on that promo plan just for being a loyal customer. That's how I got it on mine. Mine is a $25 plan. Right? And everyone else started doing 25, right? Mobile X, pay for what you use. But if you're not ready to commit to that type of phone plan, they got a $25, 30 gigabyte high-speed data, unlimited talk and text plan. Helium Mobile and all these companies are starting to do 20. Do you want to know? And I talked to one of my friends about this. I was like, the originator of the $25 plan, it's not Visible. I don't know. That was funny as hell when the person was like, Visible was the first to do $25. Like, nope. Close. The name of the company starts with a V, but it's not Visible. It was actually Virgin Mobile. $25, 300 minutes, unlimited text, unlimited 3G data. It's $25 on Virgin Mobile USA. The originators of the unlimited $25 plan, to a degree. I mean, it was unlimited for me with calling because then I used a VoIP app and bonded my Gtalk at the time, now known as Google Voice. Bonded it with it for VoIP calling, so I was calling over 3G data, and yeah, it was unlimited. How's the flip phone? Flip phone's dope, man. I'm gonna make a video probably this weekend about it. The video's gonna drop about the Alcatel flip phone and how it's been fun. It's been fucking fun using it. It's a dumb phone. It's not a smartphone, but it's actually been fun using it. It's just like I have all these other phones. Like I have the TCL that you sent me that I'm playing around with, right? The other day I picked up the 11 Pro Max and I'm playing around with this phone and using it along with its competitor flagship, the Pixel 4 XL, because they both came out in the same year. I got like all these different phones that I'm using and trying to use, so I can make content on it. I know I dropped the video today, 24 hours later, with the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I like the design of this iPhone. I don't do good with the square, the flat edges. That's like on my iPhone 12. It's actually pretty good, and I would say the cameras are like really, really good on the 11 Pro Max. The 11 Pro Max's cameras is better than the iPhone 12's. I took video the other day and the sky wasn't even blown out. But on my iPhone 12, when I record and it's bright, sunny, blue skies, the sky gets blown out. US Mobile uses either Verizon or T-Mobile, depends on the SIM you get. They allow you that choice, I think, on US Mobile. They allow you to choose which network you want to connect to, whether it's T-Mobile or Verizon. And I think that's something that Boost Infinite can add in that will make a huge difference. Huge difference if they allow customers to actually choose what network they want to be on. Like, they could give a recommendation. Our recommendation from our system says that the at&t side would serve you best. But give you a recommendation and allow the customer to decide. Allow the customer to pick. Yeah, that's great that your system says at&t will work great here, but I've used T-Mobile in this area and it's been great. So I'd like to be on the T-Mobile side. Allow customers to do it. I don't know, my US Mobile is eSIM. Ultra wideband, although it's fixed to T-Mobile. Really? You sure it's not ultra capacity? Oh yeah, I know, bro. The outage. Everyone's talking about it on Twitter. Everyone's talking about it on Threads, on Facebook. People were talking about it in the Boost Infinite group page on Facebook. I'm well aware of it. Like I said, in the beginning of this podcast, I had said that, funny thing was that my wife's line wasn't affected. Like, she actually still maintained her services. I don't think there was really a point. Now, some people said it happened at 3 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. So if it's 3 a.m. over there, it was about 1 a.m. here. We were asleep, so maybe it was off and we just didn't know because we were asleep. Oh yeah, ultra capacity you meant? Yeah. AT&T has many mistakes on their network. Yeah. Yeah, I caught the live stream that Sneed did the other day, and AT&T reconfigured the QCI levels. Wow, I thought that was crazy. Like, why? Why did AT&T do that? You know? Does that push Boost Infinite customers even further back on the totem pole? Because, yeah. They were so good with LTE, then when 5G came out, they dropped the ball. Yeah, they pulled a Sprint. Because remember, like Sprint was decent. Sprint was decent with 3G. They were. When 4G came, they went with WiMAX instead of LTE. WiMAX wasn't that terrible. I will tell anybody at the end of the fucking day, WiMAX was not terrible. It was just a battery killer. I had a Galaxy S2 Epic 4G Touch that was able to connect to WiMAX, and when I went to Hawaii where WiMAX was deployed for 4G, speeds were great. It's just my battery would die in like 2 hours. That's why if you look through my old ass videos on this channel, you'll find where like I had ordered additional batteries for my Epic 4G Touch and an external charger, so I can carry like 3 batteries with me to make it through a day. They were like what, like 1,800 milliamps or 1,500 milliamp you know, I can't remember really. It was actually decent in Hawaii. The speeds were like pretty decent for what it was. It just killed the hell out of the battery. I don't think there was a phone out there that could survive, right? If WiMAX was like widely used, honestly, you know, if it killed like a 1,500 to 1,800 milliamp hour battery in like 2-3 hours, you definitely would need something that was, you know, like 35 milliamps, 3,500 milliamps or higher, just to make it like a day and a couple of hours ish. If you want a 2-day battery, you for sure needed a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Yeah, I'm watching Elimination Chamber this weekend. Eric says, when 5G Advanced comes out, it's going to make Verizon pass everyone big time. Yeah, that would be great. That would definitely be great. I think that, you know, those that are like, you know, heavy 5G enthusiasts are definitely going to love that, right? I mean, I'm on LTE right now. I'm not using a 5G device at all. The 11 Pro Max and the Pixel 4 XL, they're LTE only. And just like, you know, for shits and giggles, I might decide to just, you know, throw my SIM in a Pixel 2 XL and take that along with the iPhone 11 Pro Max and compare them. I know some people would be like, that's an unfair comparison. Oh, I like smartphones and I like to see what they can do. And sometimes these things will fucking surprise you. You will be surprised on how something so outdated could actually be powerful than something that's a little bit newer. I'm not saying that that's what the results are of the 2XL versus the 11 Pro Max, but I'm just saying it'd be interesting. Plus, too, the 2XL only has one camera sensor in the back, so that'd be interesting to do. It starts 3 a.m. my time. No shit, I'll probably have to watch the replay, man. I'm gonna be asleep. Verizon wasted a bunch of money on millimeter wave. Yeah, how densely spread out is millimeter wave? Because I don't even think, like, I know a couple of months ago, Verizon home internet became available at my address that I'm at. It wasn't before, but I do know that it's, you know, available because the towers have been upgraded in my area, and there's like massive support for mid-band on Verizon. Nope, N261 is awesome. 5G, gig down, 650 up. I mean, yeah, the speeds and everything and the latency and the quality has to be pretty good on millimeter wave, but it's not reaching a lot of people. I mean, I think that's what some people's frustrations are with millimeter wave, because I have been seeing a trend of that topic. And I think it's just the fact that it's taking longer to reach people, right? And I know these things don't happen overnight. It takes money to to upgrade towers, put in new parts, or even build a new tower. It takes a lot of money to do that. Like, I get it. Like, I know that I know that much of the intricacies of building out a network. But again, right? Like, you can only be on a technical side and teach people so much about it. They don't really give a shit. They just want it to work. That's how customers are with everything, right? No matter what it is. Could be just like LTE. They don't give a shit. If their Facebook don't load, they're calling in pissed off, and whatever excuse you can give them, they don't care. They just want you to make it fucking work. And if you can't make it work, they want to talk to your supervisor. It will when GigaMimo comes out, and 261 will be nationwide on every macro site. I think that's when people will calm down, when they actually start experiencing that. If they have a device that is, well, most devices today should be, right? If you use an ancient relic like I do, that's what someone told me the other day when I was saying that I was either considering getting the iPhone XS Max or the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And someone was just like, "Why would you want an outdated relic?" It's because it's my fucking money, and I'm gonna buy what the fuck I want. That's why. I'm actually going to start, like, most of my videos that I post to the channel, I'm actually going to start recording them with the Pro Max. Just kind of get that up there. I like the video quality on it. I think the video quality on it is pretty good. I posted a video on my second channel that's, just for like my miscellaneous stuff and my photography and videography tests. And well, I like the way it came out. I still generally like using my Pixel 4 XL. I told a good friend of mine that was just like, you had the Pixel 7, which is a little bit, modern. Why not use it? And I'm like, I love using it. I love using the Pixel 7. The Pixel 7 is my favorite phone, not because it's the Pixel 7, but again, and I know this probably sounds cliche. People are like, Tito, shut the fuck up, just enjoy it. But it'll always be a little bit emotional talking about the Pixel 7 and the Pixel 7 that I have, because those that got together and surprised me with it when I did that live stream with Carlos and he had me unbox it, where I still got the shirt. I still wear the shirt. So many people laugh about that shirt. But when he surprised me with the Pixel Watch and the Pixel 7, and that wasn't just Carlos alone that did it. That was the community that got together, those guys that pitched in and gifted me it. So the 7 will always be special. That's the reason why it stays with me. I haven't wanted to trade it for anything, and yeah. But I like using my Pixel 4 XL. And since Gemini came out, I actually like using it because the Pixel 4 XL has that whole freaking squeeze. Squeeze to launch it. I love doing that. Instead of doing the hot phrase or whatever, I don't have to worry about my phone accidentally launching if I say the word "hey," and I'll just squeeze the phone. I wish they would bring that back to Google Pixels, the squeeze gesture. I really wish they would. Really wish they would do that. We're kind of winding down. I said what I had to say about Boost Infinite. I worry if it's going to last. I know my wife, we're contacting Boost Infinite either tomorrow or Saturday, because the old transfer pin she had, it's already been past a lot of time. She needs to get a new transfer pin, and I think because she has Visible now, and it's still allowing her to transfer her number because she signed up for Visible and did the eSIM rather than physical SIM. So she is going to begin the process of porting her number from Boost Infinite to Visible. Look, I'll put it to you like this, right? And my wife is not a techie. She's not into mobile technology. I mean, I always tell her that she is, because she hears what I say a lot when I talk to her about mobile tech and everything, that it's imprinted in her brain, because when her friends at work have problems with their phones, she troubleshoots the shit out of their phones. Because it's stuff that she remembers me saying or doing, and she just does it. But she's really not into tech. So when I tell you guys what my wife said about Boost Infinite at&t, it's pretty genuine. And so when she got the Visible line set up on the Pixel 6, That's what she's using. She's using my Pixel 6. She literally was like happy. I mean, like she was happy to impress with Visible now. Okay. You know where Visible sits on the totem pole of Verizon's network. And it's a $25 plan. It's not the Visible Plus plan. When she goes food shopping, she uses those apps, right? Like the Albertsons app. You clip your coupons digitally and you can save, right? So a $50 steak becomes a $28 steak. You know, a $25 pack of chicken becomes a $9.99 pack of chicken, right? When she has her Boost Infinite line on at&t and she's in the store where we usually go food shopping, it doesn't work in there. It struggles. She tries to clip a coupon and it can take a minute to a minute and a half just for the page to load. The other day, she logged into her app on the Pixel 6 on Visible, instantly up in her eyes. Struggling with a very sluggish connection for so long because she was on Boost Infinite for over a year. Struggling like that, and then using something that just works, the placebo effect made Visible $25 base plan feel like millimeter wave to her. So yeah, that speaks volumes for someone who's not into tech and doesn't give a shit to follow it. Part of the new monopoly? Yeah, it's about to. I think August is when they're going to do it. Well, Safeway is actually part of them. To be quite honest, Safeway is actually part with what's that new company? Because there's talk amongst that she told me about the other day that Bashas supermarkets, also known as Fry's supermarket, they're taking the Safeway name, the Safeway brand. But Albertsons is being taken up by Piggly Wiggly. Possibility, I don't know. They're told like so many different things, and my wife being a supervisor and everything like that. So when it happens, it happens. We'll find out. Yeah, now there's another merger that's happening again. Because of Safeway being acquired by Fry's Supermarket / Bashas. I don't know if Albertsons is going to join the chain with them or Piggly Wiggly is going to take them. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. I just know that my wife keeps her ears up, right? Because she is a supervisor, and so she wants to make sure that her store is not one of the stores that is going to be closed. Because once the merger happens, they're not going to keep the two stores that are closest together that are now part of the same umbrella open. They're not. They're going to close some of them down. And whichever store is performing better, right? So if there's a Fry's and Albertsons right next to each other and Fry's does better than Albertsons does, of course they're going to close down Albertsons. When Dixie got bought by... Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, Kroger, yeah. But... what was it? Last year they announced it that Fry's was taking over Safeway, and Safeway is a part with Albertsons. That's like the reason that my wife works at Albertsons is because Safeway is union, and my wife doesn't trust the union. Albertsons is not union, but they are under the same umbrella. And now another grocery company is buying them out, so now they'll be part of that. So that grocery company is going to be even more huge. Aldi, we had a few, I think 1 or 2 Aldis open in my city, and I like it. Yeah, well, there's still Safeway supermarkets, but it's all part of Albertsons, and now they're being acquired by another company because my wife talks to me about it every day. Kroger now is the big monopoly. They're not going to be anymore because they're the Safeway brand, the Albertsons brand, all that's going bye bye. Well, the names are not going bye bye, but the owner that's going to own them is going to be an even bigger monopoly. I don't want to say too much because my wife knows more about it than I do. I don't work for them, so I don't hear all the jargon talk at work. I love all these. Maybe they'll fix Winn Dixie. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but nonetheless, um, so kind of close out this podcast. I've been up for almost an hour. I will say this. All right, alternate reality. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit tonight. I will say this because I know that there are some people who's like maybe Peter Adderton should take the Boost brand back. I don't know if I think that. I mean, I know he has his ideas and what he would do differently to fix the brand, but he's got Mobile X now, and he needs to focus on that. And he needs to focus on the expert care team. I will say that much. That's a bold statement. I want to see Mobile X succeed also. So getting Boost. Oh yeah. I'm happy to go live every now and then. I don't try to do it too much because I don't want to oversaturate. But I like coming on live and talking. But like I said, like I would want Peter Adderton to focus on Mobile X and just grow that brand, right? Like he did Ant Mobile many years ago, and I loved being on Ant Mobile, but of course they had issues and they had to sell it, right? They fell too far behind in debt with Verizon. They had to break it up and sell it, and I know that Peter Adderton was part of that adventure. Boost Mobile, loved it back in the days of IDEN. I wasn't too heavy on wanting data to browse the internet, but I loved the chirp action. Oh my God, my favorite phone was the Moto Clutch. Everyone called it the ghetto BlackBerry. Full QWERTY keyboard. I had the gray and maroon one, and I also had the black and kind of mint green one. So it was like more black than anything with like mint green accents. But yeah, the Moto Clutch was awesome. The Moto i1, which was like the IDEN version of the Moto Razr flip phone. I like that phone too. They had a slider that was about music too. I forgot what it was. It was the i756 or 765, I think it was. Good back in the day, but Peter Adderton, very, very vocal on Twix, right? Very vocal on Twix. And, it would be cool to see him have the Boost brand back, but I really don't want him to focus on that. Like, I know he has Boost Australia, and so that's why it's a little bit weird, right? Because Boost US, he has to remind people that Boost US has nothing to do with Boost Australia because, he sold Boost US to Sprint, and he regrets that. You can tell by his tweets. I'll still fucking call them tweets. I don't need anyone to tell me it's called a post now. Fuck all that. I still call it a tweet. and he still posts about it every now and then. It's like watching your child that you let go off, venture into the world, get screwed over left and right, and you just so badly want to save your child, even though they're old enough to be on their own. You just gotta let them take the hits and just pray that they wise up. So I know it's gotta be tough for him too, right? But he's got to stay focused on Mobile X for Mobile X to have any sort of chance of survival. Because Mobile X is great. Yes, it's not catering to the full unlimited thing, but for those people who don't use a lot of data, this is their avenue. For those who are losing the ACP and don't use a lot of data, this is a great avenue for them. For those who just want a secondary line, this is a great avenue to have a burner phone. Mobile X can fill the gaps in so many different areas as to why they're a good fit. But I especially have been pushing for those people here in my city that I know that use the ACP program and, talk to me about them losing it. And then I tell them, if you're mostly on home Wi-Fi and you really only use 2-3 gigabytes of actual data from the network carrier, then you're better off going to Mobile X and saving a ton of money. And that's that. I thank everybody for hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate you guys so much for doing that. Appreciate you guys listening to me act stupid on this podcast and have my little fucking, emotions just roll around and everything like that. Hashtag ADHD problems. Uh, sometimes I have to talk that way because my mind races 1,000 miles an hour, from being ADHD, that I'm trying to stay on track with what I'm saying. So, but yeah, more video coverage on the iPhone 11 Pro Max and what I think about it. I'm also doing a comparison between that and the Pixel 4 XL in 2024. So be on the lookout for those videos. Subscribe to my second channel if you guys want to see like the types of photos I take, how certain phones cameras do for recording a vlog, all that on the second channel, Tito's Photos. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I love you guys very much. Be safe out there in this crazy world we live in today. Be safe out there. Peace. Thank you. Thank you, Ricky. Alternate Reality, B-Tech Review. Thank you to Hacker. What else do we have in here? Titus, thank you for coming in. Titus is my moderator on the Boost Infinite group page on Facebook. Rando Geek, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Love your videos. Love your videos, man. You guys are not subscribed to Rando Geek, subscribe to Rando Geek. He covers, the telco news and mobile phone devices and OEM news, right? So, he's well versed in the tech space. Subscribe to him. Subscribe to B-Tech Reviews. Subscribe to Side Hustle Mike if you guys want to see what it is like today to, to do, those like Uber Eats and Walmart, Spark, and all those. Check out his channel on that. Check out the Deathlock podcast if you're into, WWE wrestling, AEW wrestling, Ring of Honor, TNA, Lucha Underground, whatever you're into. We talk wrestling, so follow the Deathlock podcast. We should be doing an episode this weekend. I'm trying to see if I can get what's her name to be a part of it too. Waiting for a response back, but yeah, so we can have a 4-person panel. But the more the merrier. If you guys ever want to come on with us and just talk wrestling, you don't have to be a podcaster to do it. Just say, hey, I want to chill with you guys and talk about wrestling, and let's do it. Kick the tires and light the fires. All right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. You guys have a great night.